Hi, Ellie. It's Mimi, and I've got some books to read to you this morning. In our class this week, we were learning about nursery rhymes, and so I have a couple cute little books about nursery rhymes that I wanted to read to you. And the first one is called The Cow Tripped Over the Moon, a Nursery Rhyme Emergency. So let's see what we have here. Here comes the ambulance. It's on its way. Who's had an accident in Storyland today? Driver, put your foot down. Don't waste time. There is an emergency nursery rhyme. Let me see. There we go. You see the cow up here under the moon? Remember that nursery rhyme? Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. A little dog laughed to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the spoon. So let's see what happens. Who have we here? It's the farmer's cow. She fell from a great big height somehow. I saw it happen, says a little hound. She tripped on the moon and fell to the ground. She chipped a hoof and grazed her knees. Pass me the cow-sized bandages, please, says the ambulance man to the ambulance crew. They patch her up, and the cow goes moo. There's the cat and the fiddle. And there's a little dog. So this must be that nursery rhyme. Here comes the ambulance. Off we go. It's a nursery rhyme emergency. Anyone we know? Who's had an accident? What's wrong now? There's the dish running away with the spoon. Rockabye baby fell from a bough. The wind broke the branch as she rocked to sleep, and baby landed in the compost heap. Let's check the patient. Is she hurt? No, just covered in weeds and dirt. With an old banana stuck to her head, she needs a bath, then straight to bed. And this story's from Rockabye Baby. In the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all. So the wind blew it, and the cradle fell, and they had to fix her all up. Here comes the ambulance down the lane. It's a nursery rhyme emergency yet again. Has Jack Be Nimble burned his bum? Has little Jack Horner choked on a plum? Who could it be, do you suppose? I don't know. Let's find out. It's a poor washermaid with a very sore nose. She was pinning up the laundry when a bird flew by. Its 24 brothers had been baked in a pie. It pecked at her nose very hard, hard, hard. So they fix it with pastry and lard, lard, lard. And I don't exactly remember that nursery rhyme, but it's about 23 blackbirds baked in a pie. I do remember that part. So she got pecked while she was hanging out the laundry. All better now. Here comes the ambulance. It's on another call. It's a nursery rhyme emergency. Someone had a fall. He fell off the wall. Did he break his leg? Oh, I think I know which one this one is. It is. It's Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So this page says, who is the patient covered in egg? All the king's men let the ambulance through. All the king horses, shoo, shoo, shoo. Humpty Dumpty has smashed his shell, but the ambulance crew soon makes him well. They put him together with jam and bread. Hooray, says Humpty, they fixed my head. That was Humpty Dumpty, wasn't it? Here comes the ambulance down the hill. It's a nursery rhyme emergency. Is someone ill? Someone blew a horn, but we don't know who. Look beneath the haystack. It's Little Boy Blue. Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow and the cow's in the corn. He was looking after a herd of sheep, but the tired boy fell fast asleep. The cows in the corn came and nibbled the hay, then sat on the stack where the little lad lay. The crew looks him over. He isn't in pain, but he may never play on that horn again. It's been sat on, flattened, and bent out of shape, so they fix it with hammers and trumpet tape. So they had to fix his little horn over here because it got sat on maybe by a cow and flattened. But he's okay. Here comes the ambulance into town. It's a nursery rhyme emergency. Hurry down. The ambulance arrives and screeches to a stop. They run to save the weasel. Here's the weasel. He's being carried away by a whole bunch of balloons. Pop! This word says pop. I bet you can say that word and sound it out and spell it and read it. And you know that. Pop goes the weasel. And that's the end of that story. And then I have one called Potato Joe. So here's the front of the book. And here we go. 1 potato, 2 potato. Hello, Joe. 3 potato, 4 potato. Tic-tac-toe. 5 potato, 6 potato. In a row. Hey, look up there. A big black crow. 7 potato, 8 potato. Covered in snow. 9 potato, 10 potato. Rodeo. Swing your partner and do-si-do. Whoop. Potato pile high, potato pile low. Roll on over, Tomato Flo. Look, there's Tomato Flo. What's she doing in there with the potatoes? Let's make way for Watermelon Mo. What's he doing in the potato patch? Now back to the garden. Everybody roll. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, tally ho. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Potato Joe down in the dirt. Where we potatoes grow. Yeah, potatoes grow down in the dirt. There they are. And that's the end of that little story, rhymey story. That's cute. I like that one. And then finally, I have one more. And this one is called Not Last Night, but the Night Before. So let's see what it's about. Not last night, but the night before, 3 black cats came knocking at the door. I came downstairs to let them in. They knocked me down like a bowling pin. Not last night, but the night before, the man in the moon came knocking at the door. Here's the cats knocking him over. I might have to do this like so. Here we go. They bowled him over, and then the man in the moon came knocking. So he let him in. He rushed right in. He didn't stop. He spun me round like a spinning top. And he's got a present in his hand. That's interesting, isn't it? Not last night, but the night before, 3 little pigs came knocking out the door. There's the 3 little pigs knocking at the door. They roared right in like a choo-choo train and knocked me down on my back again. And they've got presents, and there's the wolf right behind them with a gift too. Not last night, but the night before, Little Bo Peep came knocking at the door. Here she is with her sheep. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone, and they'll come home, wagging their tails behind them. Goodness gracious, fancy that! She darted in and knocked me flat. Looks like she found her sheep, 'cause they're with her, Not last night, but the night before, Little Miss Muffet came knocking at the door. And that one is Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. I opened the door, she opened it wider, and I got squished by a big fat spider. Looks like she brought her spider with her, Not last night, but the night before, Jack and Jill came knocking at the door. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. These are all nursery rhyme people. Jack rolled in and shrieked with laughter. Sister Jill came tumbling after. Not last night, but the night before, 3 blind mice came knocking at the door. You see the little mice right down here? He has to trying to see who that is knocking at his door this time. The farmer's wife, oh fiddle-dee-dee, I saw her, but she didn't see me. And she ran right over him, didn't she? Poor little boy. Goodness, he's had a night. Not last night, but the night before, Goldilocks came knocking at the door. There's Goldilocks. You remember Goldilocks and the 3 Bears story? I thought that she'd come on her own. Crash, bang, wallop. Well, I might have known. Goldilocks brought the 3 bears with her. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. Not last night, but the night before, Mr. Punch came knocking at the door. Judy, Baby, and Crocodile too said good evening. How do you do? And that's the way we greet people, isn't it? We don't run them over. We say, hello, how do you do? Not last night, but the night before, there was no more knocking on my door. A glass was tapped, ting, 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 and all of a sudden, they began to sing. Happy birthday to you, squash tomatoes and stew, bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. Oh, look, they made a surprise party for him on his birthday. All the nursery rhyme characters came to surprise him. How about that? Not last night, but the night before, I spread my gifts on the bedroom floor. The house was still, there wasn't a peep. I went to bed and I fell asleep. After a nice surprise, he went to bed. How sweet. That's a cute story, isn't it? Well, that is the best books that I had this week, so I wanted to share them with you before I take them back to the library. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, sweet Ellie. And always remember, Mimi and Papa love you very, very much. I will see you soon. Bye, Ellie.